Why don't we start it off by recapping last year?
Nice.
What do you think is the craziest drop last year?
The craziest drop of the year last year?
I'm talking about hecticness, not profit.
Like madness.
Yeah, madness.
Yeah, madness. I probably wasn't there, but I think the Chicago release of the Homage to Home #1.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, that was bad. Like all my fellow reseller brethren that went out there, it got messy in Chicago. A lot of scuffles, a lot of rumbles, you know what I mean? Between that and the Diamond Dunk release at Complex Con. Like not Complex Con as a whole, but when they tried to release the Yellow Canary Diamonds, that was pretty bad. And I was there for that one, that was bad.
I'm actually thinking about another release.
Go ahead, maybe I'm...
you were probably not...
Well,
yeah, you said you weren't going to go there.
Okay.
It's in Miami.
For the SoleFly?
Yes.
Yeah, but like it got crazy without it. It got crazy, I think, in sheer volume of people. I didn't think that
You didn't
counts.
think that was crazy?
I don't think it counts because they never got to a point where they actually were about to release the shoe. Oh, they did at the club, at that nightclub.
Yeah.
You're right, that looked insane.
Yeah.
You're right, I forgot all about that. That looked
Stampede.
insane. Yeah, you're right. I did see that. I didn't go.
So factoring that in, would you say that was the craziest of 2018?
See, I personally still got to go with the Yellow Canary because, like, I was there and part of that mayhem. So for me,
that was pretty hectic, but
that gives it an extra. But like, yeah, the sheer volume of people over there was insane. You know what that reminded me of? Were you around when Kanye was supposed to do Webster Hall?
Yes.
That was crazy.
And everybody was just there was like super last minute too.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. He like tweeted it, and in like 30 minutes, 70,000 people showed up at Webster Hall. It was insane.
Could you provide a little more context with the SoleFly drop? What did you hear?
So the SoleFly drop, I mean, I knew going into it that every single reseller in New York, like all the guys were gearing up to go down there. All the guys were driving down and bringing bodies. Like all the other people I speak to in LA and some Atlanta resellers that I know, everybody, Chicago guys, like everybody was going to Miami because the SoleFly Art Basels from the year before did so well. The Pink Flamingo and the Igloo, they're doing, it's like a 2000.
I don't think we ever shared the story with the public of what happened that year.
That was a crazy year too. So there was originally supposed to have give out tickets at the hotel, I believe it was the W Hotel, and word about that got out a little early, and there wound up being like 1,000 people in the lobby of the W Hotel. The hotel was going crazy, the patrons were going crazy, so they switched it up and told everybody it was canceled, but they had already had the truck there with the gates, with the barricades. So when they decided it was canceled, nobody really believes them, of course, and the truck leaves, everybody starts following the truck. So now it's like a line of 40 cars following this truck with barricades, the gates in them, the little portable gates, and it's trying to see where they're going to go to set up for the next set of tickets, right? And like security knew that happened, and like it's evident that we're being followed, so they wound up having to like last minute rent another truck and another set of gates from whatever gate company they could get it from. So they had the first truck driving around Miami as a diversion with everybody following them while they were really setting up by the docks, because they actually released it on a boat. They couldn't find a space. They had to release it on a boat.
I'm trying to paint the picture. Do you think while security was driving the truck with the gates, they're like, "Hey, boss,
100%.
We need a diversion."
Yeah, 100%. Like, yo,
get another rental.
It's not gonna happen. Yeah, like.
So then they just how many hours were they driving around Miami for?
They were driving around Miami for like. I mean, it wasn't just purely driving. They left the hotel. Everybody left the hotel with them. They parked up. You know what I mean? But it was probably a good 10, 12-hour period because like originally it was at the night before, and then they wound up doing it the next morning.
So a lot of resellers from New York.
Yeah, but a lot of resellers from everywhere decided like, yo, it's worth taking the trip because look how well these last SoleFly did. Everybody didn't take the trip the year before because like they're, you know, Jordan Brand will say like, oh yeah, it's an Art Basel Jordan 1, or like SoleFly will say that, and then like next thing you know, the sneaker really releases somewhere else, and that happened sort of with the gold toes right before that. The Complex Con Union released the gold toe Jordan 1 at Complex Con, and it wound up being a little different than the regular release. The regular release was both toes were gold, and the Union Complex Con one had 1 foot with the gold toe, 1 foot with the white toe. It was like a top 3 gold, exactly. But they even released the top 3 gold after that. Like it was supposed to only be Complex Con, nobody else. And like a month and a half later, year, Nike Lab wound up getting it, Dover Street wound up getting it. It was a very, very limited drop. It wasn't even like all the tier 1 accounts. It was just a few accounts peppered throughout the country that had them.
But does that really make a difference?
100%.
It does?
100%. I was like turning down $900 sales, and then they released in 15 doors across the world with an extra 500 pairs, and now the shoe's like $400.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's just
that big of a jump.
And it's not even enough pairs, I feel like, for it to be that big of a jump, but it took away that exclusivity. I know me personally, when I found out about the Art Basel ones last year, I'm like, I don't believe they're not gonna come back out. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not taking that trip down there. Like, it's right after Complex Con. You know what I mean? It's like within a month of Complex Con, Art Basel is. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I'm not gonna take another trip. Like, I don't have faith in Jordan Brand and Nike that they're not gonna not release it again.
So what actually happened? I felt like this is like a repeat of the prior year.
So they tried
where people just showed up and they didn't even drop the location.
They didn't drop the location, but like, there's too many wheels in that cog. Like, there's too many cogs spinning in the machine, basically, is what I'm saying, for it not to be leaked out. Like, there's security guards involved, and like, 40, 50 security guards that have to know the location beforehand so they know where to go to work, right? You got the company that's providing the barriers. You got SoleFly, the people that work for SoleFly, the employees, the office ladies that work at SoleFly, secretaries, any interns, all the stock employees, like everybody that works there winds up knowing what's going on beforehand, Then you got all the people in the Nike side and the Jordan side, like there's literally probably 100 people that know, and the people on the club side, the people that own the club and that rented the venue, you'll have like 100 people that know this secret location. It's just not going to stay secret. Word gets out.
Okay, so right now it's a pretty slow time for you because there's no Supreme drops.
There's no Supreme.
So how does that work? When do they usually preview the next?
So Supreme usually will preview the upcoming season's general items. Like, they don't really go too far into like collaborations or anything like that. That they never preview until like the week before, or the week of rather. But they'll usually give you the online site will update with the lookbook and the preview of just the general items. And that'll usually happen like the week before the New York City store opening.
What month are we talking about?
Oh, that's gonna happen in like early February, like probably the first or second week of February, and then the new season should rock like in that second, third week of February.
Okay, so it's coming up. You're anticipating that.
It's coming up. We've already got a lot of leaks, man. There's been more leaks this year than I can ever remember before. And again, there's a lot of cogs in the wheel. Supreme's bigger than ever before. Things are gonna start leaking more. You got the people that are in charge of creative content, the website people. You know what I mean? Because I don't think they're designing and doing their own website, updating it. That they have a company that does that. You got the photographers that are taking the pics of the product early. You got the guys in the office that are photoshopping it all together and sending it to the website people. Like, there's a lot of cogs in the wheel, and like this year we got like full website preview pages of previews already. So like, we already know a lot of the accessories that are going to release. That was the biggest stuff. They like,
are these credible sources?
To a degree. It's all I like did my Instagram forensics just out of my own curiosity, trying to figure out where it came from. And like, the guy with the initial leaks, it doesn't look like he like nobody, you know what I mean? It doesn't look like he has any connections in the world, but I think it comes from those kind of people in the first place, you know what I mean?
Gotcha. Yeah. There's a StockX pop-up. It's I feel like they're making a permanent home for themselves in New York.
I can't see any way they're not going to open up permanently somewhere. I'm sure they're just looking for the right space.
You don't think that current pop-up is a right space for them?
I think that current pop-up is an amazing space, and that current pop-up's also on Broadway.
By the way, are you a StockX ambassador? We need to know.
I'm not an official ambassador. I didn't get a Rolex like Emily Oberg.
What's going on?
No, I rock with StockX, man. Like, StockX.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can't beat them, join them, right? I don't want to be like the old dinosaur reseller griping about the old days, like, you know what I mean? Like, StockX and these digital platforms. Like, I've said it before, like, it came around and streamlined and made what we were doing easier. You know what I mean? And that affects us, yes, as a reseller. StockX does hurt me to a degree, but like, you just have to learn to work around it. Like, you have to learn to diversify yourself and sell in a way that is beneficial to you selling on StockX. So like, it allows me to have an Old Navy to my Gap. That's like my best comparison. You know what I mean? Like, I have products that I wouldn't sell on StockX, right? And I have products that I would sell like pre-order, or like if somebody hits me up, or hand to hand in the street, that I'd sell to you at $10, right? And like I know that I might have access to be able to buy 30 of that $10 item, right? In my past life, I would never have bought 30 because I don't have the demand to buy 30 of that item, right? I'd only buy 4 or 5 and I'll sell them at $10, $10, right? But there's still another 5 of that item that I could have bought, right? But I can't sell it at $10 because I ran out of $10 people to buy it. But now I can buy all those items and take those extra 5 and sell them at 7777 on StockX. Okay. You know, so like it requires, you know, you doing more work and more diligence and finding things that aren't necessarily gems that'll sell for a less amount, you know what I mean? But like I know a lot of reseller guys, like they're out there like finding Jordan 1 mids in weird colors that like nobody would ever give a shit about, but for some reason they sell for $25 over retail on StockX, you know what I mean? And you go in a store and you clear out 15 pairs of that and next thing you know, like you had a good day.
What you're saying is these are those small wins that add up to some mediocre wins.
Correct. I mean, I think the big stuff and the big sales are still always going to be better for me off of StockX, you know what I mean? But I've been learning to sort of do both, you know?
Okay, let's talk about some upcoming drops. Last week or week and a half ago, Nike Adapt BB.
The
shoes.
BB, you went to like the event.
I
tried
did.
it on. I be trying to I was there. They wouldn't let me in. My name wasn't on the list. It didn't work for me.
Don't hate outside the club.
I be trying.
Don't hate outside the club.
I be trying, bro.
By the way, it's slated to drop All-Star Weekend, NBA All-Star Weekend.
Okay.
Are you heading down there, Charlotte?
It's Charlotte's close. You know, like I kind of might. I want to. I don't know yet.
Okay. How do you think those will do?
I don't think they'll do much of anything, honestly. Like,
you think people who are strictly interested in the shoes, they will buy, but as far as a reseller?
I don't think there's going to be a big resale demand on those. Some people already have, like, I think if it's still not available, Nike put up a pre-order link of their own. Like you could have purchased them for retail as a pre-order, and they'll ship them to you when the date does come. So like apparently there's good enough inventory of these things, or else they wouldn't have did that. And it's not something that lends itself to fashion and streetwear. So I don't think there's going to be that much resale on it. People that are into it for technical sports stuff, I don't think they're going to pay over the retail in the first place. And then you have some people that are just sneaker collectors in general as a whole, and they love the genre of sneakers from, you know, nuts to bolts, and as a tech aspect, the shoe is dope. You know what I mean? So those guys will buy it, but I still don't think it's going to be a huge resale on it.
What do you think about the shoe just in general? Not resale.
It's cool. I would love to see one.
Do you like the look of it?
I don't hate the look of it as a technical basketball sneaker. It is weird to me that it's a low top, because like it's a technical basketball sneaker,
like
and I feel like those should be but like even the Kobe is weird to me, like for a basketball sneaker. Like, don't you guys want more ankle support? I'm not a sports guy, but you know, it looks cool. I like it. I'm not mad at it. I would love to try it on, hold it, and play with it, and get the app and left and right. It looks awesome.
So today, Adidas officially announced that the Superbowl Bape, Adidas Bape kit. Is dropping Super Bowl week. I got a chance to preview it way back in October.
Nice.
So probably the most hyped product here during this preview is the Bape Adidas collab. Now, football helmet, football cleats. These are expected to drop Super Bowl weekend. In hand, crazy. It's incredibly light, considering this is probably a size 13. I'm a big Juju fan. Hopefully Juju can get to the Super Bowl and rock these. Definitely a flex if you wear these on the field.
I would have loved to see the prime knit Bape print on the NMD in the first place. That's the first thing. It's like, oh, you finally did the prime knit. You suck for not putting it on the NMD. I think I've seen photos and I've seen it in hand. In hand, it didn't look as nice to me as it did in the photos. It looked a little muted to me in hand. I love the black sole. Boost is the most comfortable stuff on the planet. With all that being said, I just think it's a little late for it now. Like,
so
it
you would not go after them?
No, I'm gonna buy a few pairs.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, but I don't think it's the win, and it's gonna be as big as it could have been if this would have happened during the height of Adidas, not the decline.
They have training tights, the camel print.
Training tights are probably gonna be a good item.
$40. They have the arm sleeve.
The training tights win. $40 win.
Arm sleeves is also $40.
Yeah.
The gloves, I think they're gold Bape gloves.
Okay, that's
with a little camel print on it.
I've seen them. That's a good
$60.
item. Good item.
The helmet.
The helmet's real. The Rydell.
It looks incredible.
600?
600.
Yeah, I heard that. Yep. I need that helmet.
And
I don't know why I need that helmet. I need that helmet.
What about the football? $60.
Good.
Safe to say that there's still hype behind the Bape, Adidas Bape.
There's enough hype. Yeah, I mean, Bape is one of those life brands. You know what I mean?
All right. Let's jump forward to a couple weeks after the Super Bowl All-Star Weekend. Did you hear anything that was going to drop?
Well, the patent leather
Jordans.
Carolinas. Yeah, exactly. The patent leather Jordans that are like navy and baby
Think this is
blue.
going to do well?
I think that
I think they're women's, right?
That's the bad part. So like, if they are a woman's shoe, the big sizes should do okay. But like, I saw the dude from Urban Necessities, JS Kicks, 2Js.
Okay.
Come on, Dread. Urban Necessities, dog. But he had a pair early, and I don't know, he might be a woman's 10 or 11, I guess. But like, that's giving me hope that maybe it's a men's shoe also. If they do men's and women's, the shoe is going to be trash. If they do only women's, the big sizes should do pretty well, like the satin shattered backboards. If they make it just a men's shoe, then the shoe should be just great as long as it's All-Star Weekend only.
Have you seen the documentary on Netflix, the Fire Festival?
I almost watched it last night. I didn't.
You should.
Yeah?
You should.
I will.
So
Okay.
there's this gentleman by the name of Billy.
Ja Rule? Oh.
The other gentleman.
All right.
Billy McFarland.
Yeah.
He's a scam artist.
I watched like blurbs. Yeah, he was like buying tickets and then selling them for the high and then selling tickets for the next event.
Yes.
It was a Ponzi scheme, basically. That's pretty much how that works, right?
So one of the things he did to build hype around Fire Festival was he had all these influencers, these models, Victoria's Secret models.
Oh, all right, those chicks.
Yeah. Opposite gender.
All right.
And he had them post, as it was getting closer towards the Fire Festival, had them post an orange block on their Instagram, just to stop people from scrolling on the timeline. Like, hey, what's this orange block? Why is everyone posting it?
Yeah.
That helped build some traction to get them to go to the Fire Festival Instagram page.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you had enough clout or influence over the reselling community, if you and your crew somehow picked like a mediocre shoe that you probably don't, it's probably not gonna do crazy numbers, but if you guys all posted it, because you always post, hey, I'm taking pre-orders on these or whatever.
I used to do that a lot, right?
Yeah.
And then I stopped it for a good amount of time, and I'm sort of going back to that now.
Yeah, so my question is, I wonder if you and your comrades, as you say, and you guys always posted, oh, these are going to be limited, to see if you had the influence to
push it one way or another.
Control the market, I guess.
To a degree, yeah. I think there was a time where we definitely could have did that.
Yeah.
I think that time is come and gone.
Why do you think that is? There's too many resellers that.
There's too many resellers. There's too many hands in the cookie jars. There's too many stock X's. There's only the one, but there's still too many stock X's. It's.
So who do you think dictates the market?
Too far gone for
the
that.
Price point.
I think the community as a whole does that. To be honest with you.
So you don't think your
I think my
community
section of the community has is a big part of it. But I think people. The sneaker game has gotten too crazy. People know a mediocre shoe when they see one for the most part, right? The blogs, the complexes, and high beep, and
I don't know. I feel like maybe you guys have more influence.
I don't know. I don't think so, bro.
No,
I personally.
So if I have these Jordan
50,000 followers or something like that, like there are a billion people on StockX that are bidding and dissing and thatting.
But if you and
it's like, but for a shoe like that, you could, but that's not necessarily a mediocre shoe. If that's really only, you're right. But right now, it's not looking like that. You know, if you take a shoe that's really only releasing in one place, et cetera, then you look at what happened with those fucking Not For Resales, which was the biggest sham ever. Like, sidebar, the fuck night. You make a shoe, right? Not for resale. Please crease. Not numbered. Sorry, we're general as fuck. And then you release it in the most limited way ever. Like
you're insulting Frank Cooker, who had a hand in
Frank
designing.
Frank is a nice guy. I like Frank.
He had a hand in designing the shoes.
Frank is one of the coolest brand people I've ever met, because he's actually stopped and spoke to us as resellers and like tried to get our input like on a real level instead of just like, oh shit, resellers gotta run. And he always stopped and spoke to us and like asked us like our opinions and had conversations with us. I always appreciated Frank for that. But I don't know if he had anything to do with the way it was released. Like the design of the shoe is one thing, but the way it was released, you design a shoe that's supposed to be not for resale, no numbered, mass general release. and then you release it like in one place in the world, and it's like the most limited thing ever. Like,
Okay.
what kind
I
of
misinterpreted it as you're bashing
no,
the
not on the design, on the way it was
Not
released.
for resale.
Yeah, it's supposed to not be for resale, not numbered. No, take pictures, crease, beat it up, and then you release it in the most coveted way you can release a shoe.
Everyone was bashing the shoe.
Yeah, but look how much the shoe go for.
I know, but
oh yeah.
Right.
If the shoe would have been regular, it would have been shit. 100%. If it would have been on the Foot Locker launch locator,
now
it would
whose
have
fault
been
is
shit.
that?
But that's what y'all said it was supposed to be.
Everybody's roasting it.
Yeah. But
If everybody's roasting
it's still,
they're probably not gonna buy it. We don't want to sit on shelves. All right, well here, let's just make this much.
I still feel like it was just a backhanded slap. Like,
That's what.
not for resale. Haha, you have to
You
buy
can't
it
have it
resale.
both ways. You can't flame the shoes.
Yes, I can,
and
bro.
bash
I'm a hypocrite.
Nike.
I can be hypocritical.
But you see my point, though, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. Yeah.
I put an H on my chest.
Okay.
Captain Hypocrisy.
By the way, guys, if I'm wrong, if people weren't flaming these shoes when the images
They were.
they were,
I don't like them as a shoe, period. I don't.
I think they're great.
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay, a couple more topics.
Yeah.
Is it Sotheby's?
Sotheby's. I believe.
Sotheby's. I saw that you went to
Not upper
the
crust.
auction.
I went to the viewing of the auction. The auction is online. There still might be like 2 days left to bid. Homeboy Ryan Fuller is the guy who owns the collection, and it is one of the very few, not only 100% not only. They're sort of advertising it as the only full Supreme deck collection out there. It's definitely not the only one. The guys at OD Toronto have a full set just like he does, but it's a very rare thing to have a full set, every deck from 94 until now. And that's what it is. It's every deck from 1994
It's all dead stock.
up until now. Not all dead stock, which I was surprised.
Okay.
But every deck is there. Some of them have like little cuts and bruises and scratches. There was one deck I saw that had grip tape on it that was actually written. Like one of them was written. But like it's such a rare thing to have them all together, you know? And it's ambitious to sell them, you know, through Sotheby's. I mean, I think it's cool that it happened. I mean, there's been some Supreme auctions before. Heritage Auctions has done them. $500,000. If there's somebody that wealthy enough that wants this thing, then sure, fuck it, go ahead. But I mean, even for it to sell at $1 million, you'd have to value like every deck at like $4,000 or $5,000 a pop, including. And there was, you know, 100 decks that were from the past 5 years. But even if it doesn't wind up being sold, I mean, the fact that like Sotheby's took this on says a lot about where like the streetwear stuff is going, and like where Supreme is going, and like a lot of these older things are still really collectible. A lot of those older decks were collabs with artists. Like they really were on the forefront of doing like the collabs with the artists. It's really cool shit.
All right, so earlier in this interview, you mentioned Chicago drop was the worst for you.
Well, I wasn't there, but that's like,
Okay.
that was one of the worst this year.
Complex Con, Chicago.
I'm going.
You're going.
Hell yeah, I'm going to Complex
Even with
Con.
all this,
Yeah. Y'all love me, don't you?
I'm sure some Chicago resellers are watching.
Yeah. Homie Evan, like, yeah, I'm cool with a couple people over there. No, I'm going 100%. I can't see that much product being sold first come. I mean, even this year's LA Complex Con was so different than the year before, where we had a bunch of shit first come first serve. This year was not so much. It was a little bit of shit first come first serve, and it was still a mess. Like, I think the further we get in complex cons, the more digital it's going to be, and as long as they do it, the more they're going to have other systems in place. You know what I mean?
It should be interesting to
I
see
think
how.
Chicago's cool though. I think Chicago's a cool place. I mean, it's the birthplace. It's not the birthplace of Michael Jordan, but it's Jordan's home. And like when you think of hype and streetwear, Jordan's one of the biggest things. And you know, kind of ties in. You know, I get to see the statue. I'm going no matter what.
Okay, last question before I let you get out of here. Obviously, after our entire conversation today, what do you think the commenters are going to comment? Do you think they're going to call you a scumbag? Do you think they're going to rock with you this video?
No, I think this is one of the more. Of all the
Toned
videos
down?
we've done, this is a pretty toned down video.
Okay.
There's nothing that's big hype, big controversy. You know, just I can't say my name anymore. Still, right? That guy.
Yeah, let's just
For you, big homie.
If you guys have any more questions, just leave it in the comments.
Yeah, because I answer the comments now. I like get back at people for the most part. Like I'm not gonna. There's a
That could
million
be
of
a tricky wormhole to get down. Until next time, we'll see you on the next episode. Peace.
y'all.